Oh, that was not my target. My target was to go for the gold medal or even jump a PB because I've been aiming to cross over 2 meters for like the beginning of the season. So, but I'm happy I have something to show for the game. Before coming to Commonwealth Games, I have it in mind to put all the pro athlete that's going to compete in the game on their toes. Like, that's what I only want to do. Yeah. But the rain, like, messed things up. But yesterday was my first time competing in the rain. Yes. Even I don't practice in the rain because we have indoor back in the US. So whenever the weather is like that, we just have to move to the indoor track. Yesterday was my first time competing in the rain. Having a coach. I'll keep saying this wherever I'm going. Thank you, Coach Kola Adebayo. It discovered me from the Baba Jemu Premier Lotto. Yeah. Yes. It discovered me. Having a coach really helped me a lot because the last Commonwealth game I placed 10th. Yeah, I don't have a coach. I'm just there by myself, like just people that are willing to help, like they standing for me as a coach. But a layman cannot like be a coach because there's difference between like a technical coach and a sprint coach.
All right, hello and welcome to Sport on Sunday. I am Ken Ochonogo. She says, look, I just go in there with all the confidence. I know I will dust them, you know. It's the first time she was doing that. But the confidence, when you exude that confidence, go into any kind of a tournament or a matchup, it gives you that boost to say, look, forget it, it is doable. They are human beings like myself. They're not getting horns now. Tio Agbolawo is in the house. Tio, how are you?
I'm good. I'm very, very good, Ken. You switched to me so fast. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah. I know you're doing something. So
the way you switch is the same way you ever switched to FIFA.
All right, we'll talk that. That is part of the things we are going to talk about today. It is something because I remember, I think when we were kids, when we were young, there used to say, Solomon Grandi, born on Tuesday,
born on Monday,
Christian
really
on Tuesday, married on Wednesday, Gabriel on Thursday,
died on Friday, was on Saturday, prayed on Sunday.
That is the end of Solomon Grandi. So, it's on Tuesday that this Solomon Grandi started.
Less than a week.
So, in 3 days, this Solomon Grandi died. He died a natural death. Sometimes, you just, I think it was Hadley Chase I wrote that book. He said, when you become too confident, that is when you leave yourself open, to the sucker punch. He said, I've seen this happen a lot of times. A man will commit a crime, and then, he goes all this way to cover it.
Yeah.
But at that point, and when he believes that, he's safe, that nobody, that is when he leaves himself open for a sucker punch. They were actually, I think, in that particular scene, they were watching a boxing match, and the other guy was just pummeling the other one, and suddenly from nowhere, that hook came in, and the guy fell. Was it 84 Olympics for Nigeria? It did happen. Joe Orewa facing his opponent. No, he has a glass jaw. That's why we had Joe Orewa, Young the Tiger, a lot of them went over there to go and represent Nigeria. So you just go over there, you must always be at your guard because just one punch from somewhere and it is done. Infantino did so well with the World Cup. Before some of us, didn't give it that much credit. Starting from moving it to 48 teams. I mean, the guy, it worked. Three host nation, it worked. We're talking about ticketing, and then suddenly the tickets were nowhere to be found. When we thought we were going to have empty stand, it worked. They started this and the carrying all their basketball thing, countdown to a kickoff. Yeah. It worked.
The possibility of a halftime show.
It's halftime show. I mean, we're talking about they use water break, and then the money was pumping in and all that. So the guy felt, it's like anything I just do. Sometimes you believe you're invisible. You can just go ahead and do anything. And that is when he did this. But this time around, the invisibility caught up with him. And that does it. The confederations, I mean, because when he came in to say, look, we are going to start this, the FF,
FIFA
FIFA Forward Enterprise,
Enterprise,
FFE, and then it's our the tournaments. We are going to let's take about 20% of our tournaments, including the World Cups and whatever our competitions, to a private enterprise. Form something, and it's not FIFA, but it's the enterprise that's controlling the World Cup and other things. And so basically, we've seen some income streams, and based on this, we feel that each footballer association, each member the MAs, member associations, we have at least $40 million. And when he said it, of course we need money. We need money in Nigeria. We need money in Africa. But they now give that deadline. By September 9, you have between September 9 to accept. So so those who accept will receive. Those who don't accept will just collect, but those who accept. Now, FIFA has 211 members. 211 members. Africa has 54. Europe has 55. And then Oceania has 41. I think Asia has 46. And so count everything together, you are going to have 211. And by the time he gave that, UEFA has been waiting for this guy for a very long time. It's not only him, even before him, when Sepp Blatter. I remember when Sepp Blatter, decided that he wanted to contest, and then UEFA asked him, "Guy, bro, you are our employee. You are the Secretary General. It has never happened. This thing is supposed to move from all the association, probably member association presidents of whoever are coming from them, maybe UEFA, CAF, Oceania, Commonwealth, but you are just there." But because he has handled, Haviland was aging. And he left everything to Sepp Blatter. Sepp Blatter was able to enter into Africa, Asia, and other areas, promising them everything. Monies will come in, and this will come in, and Europe found themselves as the outsider. You might have the quality, but that you don't have the quantity. Here it is one man, one vote. And that is how Sepp Blatter moved in. We remember Infantino was also having the same position under Michel Platini in UEFA. And Platini was, everybody thought it was just going to be a crown. He was going to succeed Sepp. But that didn't happen. That didn't happen. He worked together, and at the end of the day, they said they wanted to probe him. Okay, Infantino, hold it in trust for me. And before the guy came back, story don't change. Infantino was already moved using the same Sepp Blatter trajectory. Found himself, of course, into the developing footballing nations, confederations. Africa always go, but as I think Issa Hayatou did oppose, but it was just a token, a token opposition, and then he moved in there. And you can talk about since at that time till now, a lot of things has happened. So he has, it's not like a Trojan, doing whatever he wants to do, he gets there. Taking the World Cup, when the Qatar World Cup came, all of us said Winter World Cup, but we also, it happened. Football took a break. English football that has never, since they started in the 18 something, they have never, but they took a winter break, and we had a Winter World Cup. So yeah.
My own take on all of this is I don't want people to see it as maybe some of us are anti-FIFA or anti...
No, we are talking issues.
Yeah, we are looking at the issues as they presented themselves. Yeah. Because some people come out to say, oh, whenever the Europeans just push for something that favors them, we expect Africa to just go along and this and that. Yes, we're looking at the fact that FIFA are saying this will bring in to inject more money into the sport. But where the grouse is for most of the FAs, they're saying, who did you consult? Who did you talk to? At what point where did the meeting hold? Where everybody came together and agreed, or whoever voiced their displeasure? These are the questions that were asked. Because we're looking at CAF. Everybody talking about the fact that even CAF are looking for money in CAF. We are looking for how we can get more people. We are looking for visibility. We are looking for finance and all of that. We're trying to expand and go global as it is. But it should come, what cost is it coming at? Because, Ken, the people that want to buy or that are looking to inject the funds into all of this, we can't pretend that we don't know who they are. We know who they are.
No, they were named.
The whole world knows who they are.
Joshua Kushner.
Now, this is the issue I have. Because football, remember, the players, the supporters, the fans, the officials. And it happened to us at this last WAFCON. Vozinha's mother was denied. She couldn't get the visa because of the visa bond of $15,000 that she couldn't afford. She missed her son's first game, which was the game that basically propelled him in front of the whole world, moving him from 50,000 followers over the course of the tournament to about 20 million followers on social media. Ken,
over 20 million.
She missed that moment. Yes. Because against the eventual winners, she was able to keep a clean sheet. She wasn't there. Ken, the best referee in Africa was denied entry into the, and he's a FIFA official. It was his dream to officiate at the World Cup. It was taken away from him because, and what did FIFA do with all of this? They keep treating Africa as just a voting bloc. That is what they see us as. And it's more or less like, our dignity is on the floor. You can't fight for us. What's his name? Thomas Partey couldn't enter into Canada. The court denied him. And the question is, how many European players were denied coming into the US, Canada or Mexico? How many of them did they have their families coming to come and watch them and support them? What about the fans? Do you understand? It was towards the World Cup we now started saying, we relaxed some rules. I mean, at what cost? The World Cup is supposed to include everybody. And now, like you said, the World Cup started. Everybody started seeing the money coming in. Now, okay, it looks like this is really, really a big deal. But the American now started realizing that it is like there are sports bigger than the NBA. There's a sport that's bigger than baseball. There's sport bigger than the NFL. Football is this big. Now everybody wants, and then you decide that you want to go ahead with it, and you do not consult anybody. Come on, who does that?
I think in Nigeria there is somebody we used to call Madam Due Process. I think that was under when Olusegun Obasanjo presidency. I mean, the due process. You must follow the due process. You must consult. Football is association. That's why it's called association.
That's statute.
FIFA is it's an association. Yes. You don't lord it over anybody. Everybody came together to. It's an association. From the FIFA, an association, Confederation, an association. The FA is an association of state FAs. You understand? So basically, when things happen, you consult. You don't just. It doesn't. All right, that is Infantino's statement.
He's saying the FIFA Forward Enterprise Project was intended to provide a basis for further strengthening our FIFA member associations and our sports worldwide, especially in those countries where the sports is most needed. The statement read. Ken, yes, we know Africa was projected to get about $1 billion before 2030. Okay, and more so, we said from the outset that to do this only if a majority of the FIFA member associations were in support and always subject to a consultation process with them, the FIFA Council, the confederations, and wider stakeholders. Having listened carefully to all the views, it has become clear that the project has created division of a nature that, regardless of the level of support, are no longer in the interest of the objectives set out in the first place. Our purpose has always been and will always be to unite and improve. As a result of this proposal, we will not proceed.
Yeah, that is the final statement. I mean, this proposal kind of have divided the members. You're putting the cart before the horse. We'll come back to this. Only that, because of how weighty it is. We're supposed to start with our Falcons. We're supposed to start with, Agbabola, Asisat or Shoala. You can't. Quality. You can't buy quality. You can't take it there. We're walking on a very, very tight rope. We are still working on that tightrope. We are not yet out of it, but it is looking as if basically, if we win, of course, people say, when I don't start with press calculator again, we don't have any option. This one, the calculator has to be pressed. Because we lost to the Malawians. They were debutant. That's their first ever WAFCON, and they beat the Super Falcons. We were lucky that we were able to pull 2 goals back. Pull a goal back, they went ahead and pulled back, so it was just a 1-goal deficit. Because at the end of the day, it's looking like it's going to be goal difference that we decide. It may look that way. Because one, the Malawians are on 6 points, but they are not home and dry. They are not. They are 6 points, they beat Nigeria, they have head-to-head advantage over Nigeria. So basically, over the Super Falcons, the Malawians have that. Now, with the Zambians beat Egypt. You understand? So, of course, and then the Egyptians have lost 2 games. I don't see how they're going to come out. But, Nigeria beat Zambia. So, those are the scores we're talking about here. Okay, you can see So we'll come to South Africa, but we're talking about our own group here. Nigeria versus Zambia, and then we won that game for us. So that means we have the head-to-head advantage over Zambia. Now, this is where it now becomes, a merry-go-round. This is where we're talking about the tiebreakers, because at the final group games that we played, it will be Zambia taking on Malawi. The Zambians are on 3 points. You understand? They've lost to Nigeria, so they have that disadvantage. But if they beat Malawi, they've had that head-to-head advantage over Malawi. So if Nigeria were able to beat Egyptians, we already have the advantage over Zambia, but Malawi has advantage over us. So basically, it will cancel off. The first rule is points scored. If we all have 6 points, 3 teams, and only 2 teams will qualify from that particular group, it means they go to the next group, the next tiebreaker. The next tiebreaker is head-to-head. Now, Malawi head-to-head over Nigeria. Nigeria head-to-head over Zambia. Zambia has head-to-head over Malawi. Then that tells you that what will now go to, that's when the goals difference has to come in. So, going into this last game, we need to beat Egypt. One, that is the only way we can, because a 4-pointer might not, a draw might help us. That is if Malawi beats Zambia. There is that possibility Malawi beating Zambia, and then Zambia remaining on 3 points.
Yes.
But I don't see, this Malawi team is very good. We saw them go 10-man down, and then, Egypt was no match to them. But then the Zambians, to shut out Barbara Bandak, I don't think you can shut out Barbara Bandak for 2 games without scoring at,
anything is possible with what is at stake.
We're looking at possibilities.
We're looking
at possibilities here. So we'll not just say it is like this. Nigeria can beat Egypt while Malawi and Zambia draw, and we are through.
Regardless of whatever happens.
Yes.
First thing says we need to beat Egypt.
That is what I'm saying.
We
are looking at the total, the holistic scenario. The scenario of what is good. I've already pointed that out. That we beat Egypt, Malawi draw or beat Zambia, and then we are through. You understand? But in the event of Zambia beating Malawi, that is where it is.
But we also need to address the way the Falcons have come into this tournament. Because in as much as it looks like the Egyptians are the whipping girls in the group, and we're possibly going to get 3 points off them. We also need to talk about, after the game yesterday, I didn't see it. I had to go back to look at the highlights and everything. I saw Naduzi she was shedding tears, because at least she was able to keep a clean sheet, and she almost but took responsibility for the first game, because she wasn't really up to our usual levels. Then just before we came on here, you're talking about Demain and the fact that the red card situation. Now she's not going to be playing in the next match.
Demain had not been informing this, because
if only we had a Donald Trump somewhere, maybe they would have rescinded or they would have suspended her suspension, for the Egypt game. But you're also talking about the fact that she committed similar fouls in the first game.
In the first game, Malawi. She was on a yellow card against Malawi, and she committed a yellow card offense. We were lucky the referee looked the other way. She would have collected that red card.
Yes.
And in this one, she was out to be given a red card. Where the VR went to check the checking possible the red card. Suddenly we were lucky that the Zambian player was offside. So he ruled that. A few minutes later, she committed another one. Offense, so she has one of the pillars of the defense.
But kudos to the girls for scoring that goal as early as the 8th minute, going down and in the 43rd minute.
No, not to the girls. I'm sorry. Of course, it's a collective thing. But you see, that goal is like a one-person determination. Asato Shwala was behind 2 defenders. In fact, she was running neck and neck with a 3rd defender.
Yes.
2 defenders were in front of her.
Yes.
The ball was in front. She outpaced all 3.
Yes. So
outpaced. I'm trying to get the finish.
Okay, I'm listening.
Hit the ball, and then the keeper punched it back. Then the rebound, because she was there, Nana got into it. So it was something, just an individual tenacity, individual doggedness, individual resilience, individual, this is what I want to do. And that determination was what got to that particular goal. These Super Falcons, let us tell us the home truth, they are not at the same level that the Falcons that we know. We are talking about going to the world, whatever. They are not. But this is Agbabola. This is give it to Agbabola for this one.
So I would, from never take anything away from Azal Shola. I think she's one of the best female footballers we've seen in this country, as far as I'm concerned. Multiple African footballer winner for a reason. You get, and I in as much as she's aging, I really do not expect less from her because the quality will always be there. Remember Mata of Brazil. She might not have the legs to run, but if she decides to take you on, chances are she will leave you lying in her wake. But I'm also looking at the fact that after that goal, going a man down, we're still able to keep a clean sheet because Zambia also knew that they needed that game as well. In as much as we're complaining about the fact that Ualoze shouldn't have been a woman of the match yesterday, I believe that she put in a very, very, very decent performance yesterday. And talking about the Super Falcons are not being up to the usual levels or their standards, well, we could also argue that as well. The reason I'm saying this is because whether we like it or not, the rest of Africa is also stepping up. The rest of Africa is trying to catch up as well. And we really cannot just... Yes, we've dominated for so long.
We are talking about is a team, not because the opposition you are playing. I'm not going to aspire the opposition you are playing. I'm not going to aspire your own game. How you fix your passes together. You defend. We're not working at. We're not playing. It is a we've seen disjointed performance here. That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about saying we're playing minors or whatever it is. Okay, fine. If you are playing minors, either you outplay them and you cannot outscore them. That is the issue. Here we are not even. I have not seen a team. I'm sorry. I have not seen a team that will say, like, this is the super.
So is it potentially, will you now attribute it to being a coaching problem or
this is
or
not
the girls?
The manager has been, I think probably something is, I can't point out to it, but something has not added up. But let's see that this team,
maybe they'll grow with the tournament.
We see by the time they play Egypt, of course, nobody knew how good the Malawians were.
Exactly. Look at the Chawinga show against Nigeria.
See, nobody knew how good they were.
Yeah.
And we are seeing those Chawinga sisters that, my goodness sake, this is a good team.
Exactly.
They were underrated. And then the next game is Zambia. Zambia, Nigeria, Morocco, and South Africa are the top 4 teams. They've been the top 4 teams in the past few years on the continent.
Yeah.
So if Zambia is in the same group with us, it means Palava. But we've seen Tanzania. We've seen Tanzania do to South Africa what they never expected. This is the third time Tanzania is coming to the WAFCON.
Yeah.
They've always come. In fact, it is like Nigeria and Argentina at the World Cup. The 3 times they've come, they have been in the same group with South Africa. In their first appearance, they lost 2-1 to South Africa. In the second one, they played a 1-1 with South Africa. This one, what did they do? They beat South Africa by 2 goals to 1. So you see them. So Tanzania has that's okay. This is our.
You know the that we have not beaten Argentina.
We're looking at it. We're looking at also a lot of things that are coming in here. But then, like we said today, a lot of these fixtures, Mali will take on Cape Verde, and the Ghanaians will take on Cameroon. Ghana is another top team in Africa. I think they are ranked. They 3rd or 4th on the continent. Yeah. They are ranked 3rd or 4th on the continent, and the Cameroonians used to be the Cameroon has a point where our major foes. Things have started changing.
Exactly.
Ghanaians, none of them, all these countries, none of them have won it. The only other country that has won it, apart from Nigeria and South Africa, is Equatorial Guinea. They are not they are not here. So basically, it is Nigeria. South Africa has to come back from 2 goals down into the added time before they got that 2-2 draw. Just like a lifesaver, just like what a lifeline for them to move on, just like what Nigeria got, right there too. So basically, this is what we are, talking about here, and that is what is going on. So today it will be Ghana taking on Cameroon and Mali taking on, Cape Verde. But the Cape Verde are not the same like they are men that train the world, in Mexico, Canada, and the US of A. But then the ladies, they are also trying. They will get there. A small archipelago of islands, coming together to do what they are doing. Okay, let's go to you saw we opened with the Commonwealth Games. We are seeing what we are doing there, getting medals from where we have not been doing it. Shot put, we're getting medals. Discus, we're getting medals. It is something that we can say, okay, fine. Developmentally, going there. Most of the athletes, of course, being trained outside, bringing them in. But right now, at least they are being rewarded as at when due. We are seeing a show of dollars, but please, I think that is not. It is quite a little bit of demeaning, to be giving our athletes money and then they will not be showing it on so that they can put on social media that we collected our dollars. I think what happened? What happens to transferring the money to them or giving them money when to give them money in front of camera? Please, I think we should desist from doing that. We should desist from doing just that. It doesn't tell well at all because we are displaying dollars that were given to our athletes at the Commonwealth Games, and then for the Super Falcons that we're talking about here now, they are yet to receive the money that they promised them for winning the last WAFCON. 1 year after, because even if we want to say, okay, the girls are not playing or whatever it is, you promised them money. You promised the Super Falcons money. I mean, and then 1 year after, they are defending the trophy. Yet you have not. So what kind of bureaucracy? I don't know where you want to work. The president is a presidential pronouncement. So if this money is coming out for you to run the Commonwealth Games or whatever, why hasn't the bonuses of the Super Falcons been given to them 1 year after? They are not defending. So if they win this one now, you promise them again. Will it be promise upon promise? They'll be loading on top of each other. Basically what we are saying.
I laugh like that.
Yes.
A scenario just played in my head.
Yes.
Where imagine we win this one.
Yes.
And the ladies are taking to Asu Rocky.
And then the president
now proclaims.
Them again.
Then he now like, hold on.
Have you got? No, there is nothing you are going to tell us that no matter how that we have not been spending money in the past 12 months in this country on other projects. But this is a presidential pronouncement. There is nothing weightier than that. There is nothing weightier than the president said, give them this. And you cannot go back to knock on the president's door. Have you not seen the president since then? This will have not been the finance minister, the finance ministry, or the central bank, or how do you want to go. Now, lad, it doesn't take 5 minutes.
No, somebody will come on air and begin to explain, the bottlenecks involved with this and that. We will hear different stories.
Let it be feeding bottle or any neck.
We will hear different stories.
This one is not tenable. It is not tenable at all.
Yeah.
It is not tenable. And then we have not given the Falcons their money. And then you are giving the athletes dollars, on camera to be showing their whatever, especially our athletes that are physically challenged. It doesn't. It is demeaning. I'm sorry to use the word there, but it is quite demeaning to be giving them money on camera to show. No, it is not. Send money to their account, so whatever it is, put it there. Let decency reign. We've gotten to that particular level. We shouldn't be doing certain things. That's just the thing. We shouldn't be doing certain things. Our Paralympians, our para-athletes, you go over there and you give them money on camera. How about? It's not. Where? Who does that? Where is it done? It's not done. It's not anywhere in the world, any civilization in the world. It's not done. We should have been doing that. So we're going to open the lines. You guys can join the fray. Like we say, it is anything want to do. The World Cup is there. But okay, that is the medal table. Can we scroll them? This thing fast too. Can we come down a bit? India, I'm seeing it. Okay, that is Australia, England, Canada, India. Scotland, Nigeria is currently at number 6 with 10 gold, 7 silver, and 7 bronze medal. Yeah. But when you look at Australia, they're already on 65. There is England, Canada, and India. The next 3 or 4, they never reach 65. 26 plus 30. That is 13 plus 39 is, okay, that's almost about 65 gold medals. But they are up, they are just there. The Australians are way back there. But look at India. There used to be this story that in India, India doesn't take part in sport. They were banned. They score 100 goal against 101 or 99, 100 against Nigeria. But you guys forgot that we played against India. The Super Eagles played friendly against the Indian national team. But of note is, I think of about 10 or 14 events. Yeah. The Indians picked 7 gold medals from boxing. 7. That used to be one of our strong forts. Yeah. That used to be where we have our. See?
Boxing, where we used to do really well in boxing, Ken.
Yeah. So, but that used to be it. But right now, the Indians are doing that. But I want to go on a very short break. And when we come back, like we say, the lines will be open. Some of you, but this time the lines will work. Stay with us.
The day begins.
All right, welcome back. The numbers are right there on the screen. I want to hear from you. But let me just say this: form don't come out. Form don't come out. So if you want to contest for elective post to be the NFF president, the form is out. The form came out yesterday, August the 1st, and you have till August the 12th. For the closure. It is closing on August 12th. August 12th. There's something about August 12th. That date. I'm trying to remember this. But the forms are out. So for those of you, just go to the NFF or go to our website and go and collect form. There you see all the terms and conditions apply. So you just go and get that form, indicate where you want, which office or where you want to go from which of the geopolitical zones that you want to come from, and then go over there and okay. The election is 27th of September next month. So, and those of you who are not going to contest, this is the time for you to look at the scorecard. The last 4 years, how far have they done well to come back, or do you think they should rest? Because they took over from those that didn't take us to Qatar. Now they didn't take us to US. It doesn't have to do the tournament. Developmentally, how far have we gone? I mean, what are you seeing in our football, in the ecosystem? What are you seeing in our leagues? What are you seeing in school sports? Schools football. This is football, not sport. I'm particular at this thing. We are particular about it. Okay. So these are the things we want to ask you. August 12th. August visitor is here. Go collect form if you're ready to contest. It is now set. You have to 12 and then go over there. But then, for those of you who want to talk or to assess them, who will they talk? We'll go ask questions. Basically, that is just the thing. Before we go to meet the master is in the house. Yeah, the master is in the house. We'll just give him 60 seconds to go there. Jimmy is in the house.
Yeah, Ken, never a pleasure to be here.
You did buy form?
And
I was going to suggest.
You did buy form?
I somewhat feel that you are talking satirically, because of the fact that that it's not as easy as you've painted it. Go and buy form. Easy. Easy. Now, beans. So, we know what it is. There will be elections for FIFA. March next year, and you have till November to express your interest. But for this particular,
leave me. I'm not be fighting Fantino. Charity begins at home.
I'm driving at something. So Ken, because I believe in you, and I know Theo does believe in you, and I so know that the master believes in you. We are recommending you to pick your form.
I'm pushing you forward.
Thank you. I'm pushing you forward.
Like the FIFA forward enterprise.
This is an NFF forward enterprise.
Yes, because agenda must agenda. So this is our own agenda. We are pushing you forward.
You guys should be sure. We have Mitch in the house. We have the master. We have the master. Mitch and me, our guy. When it comes to this like this, we just go say, let us go and meet the veterans. Let us go and meet those who talks, and then you are not looking at the back. Because when Infantino came out, the former NFL president Amaju Pinnick went to say, yes, the man consult, we are supporting him. He has never done this. And right now, we are for that the man didn't consult nobody. I mean, the COO of FIFA said, I am, this is like a personal enterprise. His advisor said, I'm resigning because this is not what we are, we are talking about here. But there was our former NFL president going and say, yes, this man consult. Who did he consult? Did he consult you who is not a member of this? And you have a voting, you don't have a voting power in whatever it is, yet you were the one they consulted. But those they consulted said, okay, let's go and see Mitch. Hello, Mitch. My guy. Mitch, how are you doing? We never hear your voice, so check your audio. Check your audio. Check your audio. We see you well. You are clear. You are clear. Let's check your audio. No problem again. No problem again. Now Michelle will be. No problem again.
Ken, before we get to Mitch.
Yeah.
You were talking about the former president of the NFF.
Yes.
Yeah.
Coming on national television to endorse, saying that the FIFA president had consulted.
Yes.
And then all 55 member nations of UEFA said nobody was consulted. The CEO of FIFA said nobody. At what point? This thing
was a personal
it's somebody's personal project.
Yes.
I don't know where we get our own information
You know
from.
what's most worrisome has to be the fact that the conversation about the FIFA Go project has still not been resolved.
Till now.
And we are talking about a possible $20 million, for this particular project.
That's first tranche.
That one and the first thing is we are not looking at the interest of global football. We are looking at the funds coming in.
No, but don't we need the fund, actually?
Ken, for me, I think we need more of accountability, probity, and fairness in our system before we talk about the funds. Because we've seen that the funds come.
Transparency.
But we do not see enough of transparency. So if you are talking about funds coming in, funds that have been expended, and there are no, measures to display accountability, then what are we talking about?
All right, it's Mitch. Can we listen to Mitch? Can we hear you now? Hello? Hello, Mitch.
Let me say happy Sunday.
Aha, we are hearing you. I better give up.
Okay, and we are in August, auspicious August. Or is it August break? I don't know which one you want to take. Auspicious August or August break?
I think we can take both side by side. But Mitch, let me ask you this.
Let me remove my glasses, because you didn't consult me when you wanted to take a share of the World Cup. You know what it means to take a share of the World Cup? People's property. You wanted to carve it out and sell off without even consulting the people. Even those who sent you on the mission to become president, you didn't get to consult them. And now they are saying they've lost trust in you because they can't even trust you. And that is the problem of Infantino. He has lost the trust of those who said, use this ladder, become FIFA president, and let's see how you can change the game. Of course, it's not the first time. When you get into power and power begins to rub on you in a manner in which even your many languages cannot save you, you begin to think that the world is yours. For Infantino, I think we'll look how you get through that election in March. Africa has been silent, Ken, and that is the disturbing part of it. Morocco came out only this morning or last night saying that they support, can you believe that? And Africa, the only time they are talking, with Morocco having a vice president in camp, saying that they are coming out to salute Infantino's withdrawal of a very damned proposal. Can you beat that? That's Africa for you. Africa kept silence. They said they were having a virtual meeting. They said they will meet next week. And even before they met, Infantino has withdrawn a proposal that didn't find any place under the sun. And now he's fighting for his life. And that is, of course, what happens when you lose the trust. But Mosepe, the camp president, says Infantino is a very loyal friend and that he doesn't know how to betray a friend who has stood by him. For a man that gave him relevance, you can understand where he's coming from. But Africa cannot afford not to take a position where it matters, because somehow, somewhere, this same FIFA took control of CAF for 6 months. They brought the Secretary General of FIFA to supervise
normalization. Yes.
The umbilical link between CAF and FIFA. So when such issues rise, we imagine that CAF should be the first, at least, if nothing else, to position itself for a good remark. But they have kept quiet, what I call the ostrich silence. Now they are hiding their heads in the sand because they don't even know where to go. They are beginning to salute Infantino's withdrawal. And they are the first to endorse Infantino for an election in which he has not even taken nomination form like you.
Mitch, charity doesn't begin at home. But let me ask you a personal question. You buy form?
No, I would have been a candidate for the NFF office far back in 1994.
Yeah.
Don't forget, in 1990, the sports minister then, Air Commodore Kasobo of blessed memory, when the Rikefe panel found the Secretary General guilty of the problem that caused us suspension from FIFA for a discrepancy in age. Ikazobo told me, look, Michel, that is your football association. I've been president there. Go and take over. I said, no, I'm not going to take over. I am special advisor to you. My business coming to the ministry was not to take over the Nigerian Football Federation. But then we sought out to reform the football, and you know what happened. In 1990, you had a football federation worthy of its name with the Alhaji Yusuf Ali of then Unipetrol being the chairman of the NFF board. And of course, I was the first chairman of the Media and Publicity Committee of Nigerian Football Association. Many people have forgotten all of that, far back in 1990. So I can't go and be taking form in my twilight years. At 68, what point do I want to prove? The young ones who have been there should continue to find their place in making a difference. But even the young ones have disappointed us. We saw a man who couldn't even complete a project in his mother's community, taking leadership. At the time, we thought he had so much to give. But at the end of the day, we are still feeling the impact of his calamity.
Okay. Now that you are home, and then we know where you belong. You know, this guy said wanted me to do that, and I said let me also give it to you. These things go around just like that. You have said, I mean, it is not now that you want to do it. But let me ask you this, Mitch. The NFF Communications Department came out yesterday. So they said, look, the form has opened by yesterday, 1st of August. And then between 1st and August to 12th of August, those who are picking are supposed to pick and submit their form. The sale of form house, is open. Should this board, no, I don't want to ask whether should this board be coming back, rate this board.
They should rate themselves, at least. You don't even call them board. By their statutes, they are known as the executive committee. That's what it is.
Okay.
They are not board. They are not board. They pretend to be board members. That's what they put in their complimentary cards. Board members. They are executive committee members. Rating will depend on what they told us they wanted to do. What did they tell us they wanted to do when they took over? It's simple. You judge that by their own parameters. And we have seen at youth football, where we have won the World Cup 5 times, we can't even qualify. The only bright light is the women's game. Let's keep it at that. Let's not rake up our disastrous 2-time absence from the World Cup, which is a measure of this administration, because they were an offshoot of even the past administration. So on 2 occasions, we've not been to the World Cup. And if World Cup is the measure, which I don't want to think is the measure, because some people believe that the Super Eagles define football development in Nigeria. That's not correct. The result of the Super Eagles can only impact on how we go out there to use it to influence the development of our football. The football is what is at home. How have we grown our game to attract the high youth populace? How have we grown our game to make a difference in the continent? How are we going to game to attract those who want to be part of it, who want to invest their emotions? But in a situation where even the basic facilities are absent, you want to say that what is even the relationship between the Nigerian Football Federation and the Sports Commission in terms of providing, having the kind of stadium we need. A country where we have only one stadium, not even a national stadium. The 2 national stadiums have been decrepit for quite a while. They have been left abandoned. So what is it we want to talk about our game? I think we just need to, I don't want to say we have to start from the scratch. I think it's time for a fresh leadership all round.
Fresh leadership all round. Football, people say the league, right there kind of portrays the standard of football a country has. There was a pronouncement from the National Sport Commission that, okay, from now on, the clubs should be paying a minimum of 2 million naira to the players. First, should this have come from this kind of pronouncement should it have come from the NSC. We're talking about Infantino not consulting before, going into FFE, and then we are now looking about should it have come from the NFF to say this is it, or should it have come from the league board, which is association football, with the league and the clubs that are affiliated to it. I mean, first of all, how do you see that particular pronouncement?
They say football is a national asset, so those in charge of our sports see it in that measure, and to that extent, they want to intervene if they think it's necessary. It's not so much the fact that they put the cart before the horse in telling us that this is the prize money, this is what clubs should be paying. It's the fact of what kind of relationship exists between the Nigerian Football Federation, the MPFL, and of course those who came up with the idea of bringing money. There is nothing wrong in government coming out to say they want to put seed money in an endeavor which is paramount to building our football. The Nigerian Professional Football League needs the support, especially of those who think that we need a game changer. And that game changer can come if you have seed money for the league to really find its place. Imagine what that will do if we have the league itself telling the clubs that, look, we have this kind of money, and for you to have this, for you to enjoy this kind of money, you also have to invest, which is what they are doing now. But this should have come before even that announcement. You take it that in the absence of Nigeria at the World Cup, somebody needed to fill the gap with a certain message that will bring shine. And the message was lifting, no doubt. Prize money from 200 million to 1 billion. I don't know what percentage that is. But I've told them that it's easy to say it, but it's not easy to really deliver it. Just like we have seen the girls who have performed, they are still waiting to see the money in their account 1 year after the president, with fanfare and with the praise of everyone. We said, look, this president has taken sports to another level. We have waited for 1 year for that fulfillment of that kind of a pledge. It is not good. If you expect excellence from sportsmen or from our sports flag bearers, they should also be excellent in pledges, excellent in delivery, and excellent even in those saddled with the responsibility of organizing that endeavor which government has interest. So it's one thing to say 2 billion, 2.5 billion prize money for the league. It's another thing for that money to be presented to the clubs when it matters, because this is professional league. It's not saying red tape budget, 2025 budget carried to 2026, 2026 budget carried to 2027. Nobody will want to have that kind of excuse in running Nigeria, in running a professional league worthy of note.
But for the benefit of our viewers, the prize money, is that prize money, is it coming in from the coffers of the NSC into the league? And then also, is there a, because revenue before income, before expenditure, income and expenditure, you earn before you spend. In saying, okay, fine, clubs should, if you sign 25, 30 players, probably have about 50, 60 million bill for just to pay only the players and not the staff and other running costs. Are they bringing the money to subsidy money to support just as prize money at the end, or also to give to the clubs as running costs to offset this how do I say it, incentives that they want to give, or the minimum wage that they have picked, they have raised for the footballers?
Now the good thing to note in that is that now that you are playing the football, it's not thank you football. At the end of the day, you can reap benefits. I think that is the message in that. In the fact that if there is a prize money of 2.5 billion for the league, and the winner goes home with 1 billion, the runners-up goes with 500 million, the third place goes with 300 million, and down the line, you can be sure that every club that is part of the Nigerian Premier League will have something. And if you know that you can get something from participating in the league, that gives you the impetus. It gives you the leverage to go out there and professionalize your team in such a way that you can get to access this money at the end. More than anything else is the fact of when you organize your team professionally to attract those who are looking to put their money somewhere, that gives you a certain edge. And we believe it can be a good starting point. We want to really hail them for that initiative. But beyond all of that, what strikes me importantly in the message that came with that prize money is the fact of a strategic partnership with the national network to start producing our league. When we can produce the league is the key. You know that these days they talk about digital entities, that football has gone beyond just winning trophies, that there's another trophy to be won. The trophy of the hearts, or the trophy of the fans, the supporters, the admirers, those who really invest their emotions, those who want to be part of the digital world, and that you can make more money in the digital world, attracting fans, supporters to your club than even the money that comes with the trophy. So there is time for clubs now to professionalize. That's why the MPFL must be praised for their, one, for being consistent. They've kept faith to the schedule. Secondly, for taking it on a gradual phase. And we want to see how this year will translate to something different. That's if all the clubs understand the dynamics.
If all the clubs understand the dynamics, because we also believe that there has been a lot of talks between meetings. I think we'll see if we can get information based on whatever arrangement or consensus they want to arrive at between the various clubs, the NFF, the MPFL, and probably the NSC in that particular regard. Mitch, so as we go, we'll go back to WAFCON. 4 teams will go to the World Cup. That is, you've got to the semifinals. Our group is looking like a group where probably maybe goals might decide if the Zambians beat the Malawians, all the head-to-head will have cancelled, and then we will now go back to whatever. Do you see us working on a very tight rope, or do you see maybe Malawi, helping us out by making sure that Zambia drops a point? And if we do not go to this World Cup, if we don't qualify, out of this group, then basically since 1991, it might signal the first time that we might not be going to the global mundial. Your final take on this?
That would be a calamity. Indeed, the dispensation will see themselves as the first to have both men and women not being part of the World Cup. And that will not augur well for those who want to take forms in September. But beyond all of it is the last day, a Wednesday to treasure. I believe that these girls have gotten away from the scorching setback or the scorching patch that they went through against Malawi. And now they've dug deep. They understand that Nigerians can't take mediocrity. We can't settle for mediocrity. They need to give us what they did, show a bit of themselves. And I think I was impressed by their diligence. And sometimes we say effort is everything. They showed effort, and the tears from the eyes of Chiamaka at the end of the game told a story that she may have fumbled in the first match, but now there is a rude awakening that it's time for them to go get a ticket for the World Cup, and they can then forget about even winning the trophy. They can leave it for the Moroccans. And by then, we'll be looking at their money, the money in their account. Let that $100,000 the president promised them stay in their account, my brother. These girls have suffered enough. They need to be well taken care of.
Mitch, like always, we say thank you. When we call you, you are there to give us your incisive analysis and then history, and then, what do you want to talk again? Mitch, thank you so much for being part of the show.
Let's see how a dog will eat dog. Europe fighting against a European FIFA president. Yeah, it's good to stay on the sideline.
Mitch, do you see Infantino? Your last a few seconds. Do you see Infantino surviving because they are saying, look, now you have shelved it. Vote we don't have any confidence in you. It's time for you to exit. Do you see him surviving this? CONCACAF, they thought they would support him because CONCACAF didn't support. So you have Europe, you have CONCACAF. I think three of the confederations are saying, even Asia are coming. Commonwealth said they need additional information. CAF said they need information. But three, and then you remember, for anything to go through, he needed 106. out of the 2-1-1. And then because he nobody, the numbers games were already against him, he now pulled back. But now, if that numbers game now go as a solid, it's okay, fine. We have lost confidence in you. Like, do you see him? Let me just ask you this. Do you see him surviving in my? It's supposed to be a roller coaster, but now it's like things are changing. What do you think?
The biggest fight he has is the fight inside. He has lost the trust of his lieutenants inside. When you have your chief operating officer saying, I'm ready to lose my job, let me say it as it is. Let me do as I think should be done. And then you have your closest advisor resigning. That is a fight that you need to really get
all right.
And I think Infantino has his hands full. As we say, if salt loses its salinity, what do you do with it?
If salt loses salinity, what do we with it? Thank you, Mitch. That is what we call it today. We are leaving. Thank you for being part of the show.
Thank you. Happy
we are leaving.
Yeah, 30 years ago, we had Choma Ajuma win the first individual gold medal, and she said the legacy. Yeah, I mean, it was supposed to be replicating hundreds of her. Yeah. At this point in time, we don't have that happen. We need to move away from individual brilliance to creating a sustainable sports ecosystem.
All right.
Commercialization is not bad, but within it, if there's no transparency, it's not worth it.
Absolutely. All right, there's no I don't talk about transparency, but what I only know is that before the end of this WAFCON, Mr. President, sir, $100,000, it was a promise. As promised, let the bagam hit in the accounts of our daughters. Until we come your way next week, and Ken Ochonogo, we say God bless Nigeria.